Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome back to Raising Them Simply. Here we share all about our secular homeschool as a family of 5, soon to be 6. And this video, we are going to chat just a little bit about our November update for you guys. So if you are new here, like I said, my name is Becca. We have a second grader, a preschooler, a toddler, and another one on the way. I'm also a part-time working mom as a nurse. So this channel is all things homeschool and how we make it work for our family. So if any of that interests you, please hit that subscribe button so you're notified of future videos. But let's jump into it. So this last month has been a lot. The last time we did our update for October, I let you guys know I had some questions about spelling. I think we've got that figured out, but we will start with my preschooler. So preschool update, really nothing to update on. Everything is going great. I did not realize how easy it could be teaching a child letter sounds and stuff like that, since my oldest, if you are new here, has dyslexia. So reading was a struggle for us in the beginning, but this has been going great. Our biggest struggle is actually numbers and number recognition for her. We're still doing a lot of number games and stuff like that from our curriculum, purposely preschool from the Waldock way. We love that, but a lot of the times I'm doing more games with her, like us just practicing counting, or I will write a bunch of numbers up on the whiteboard that she's already learned, and then I will say the number and she will have to erase the correct number, or we're throwing toys back and forth where we're counting and things like that. I have noticed she started to hesitate a little bit more the more letters that we are learning. The slower it's taking her to kind of recall that. So I might have to bring in some more games on top of our all about reading pre-reading and our purposeful preschool that we are doing together for that, just to kind of keep things a little more interesting. We love the things that we are doing, but I think it's just getting a little monotonous for her. So we might have to add some different resources in. I'm still researching that, but overall it's going great. She loves our German curriculum. She is actually also really getting into our history and stuff, and she's retaining a lot, guys. I'm really impressed with how involved she wants to be in the other schooling. I do not push her to be involved. We're just already at the table doing these things, and she's listening while she's playing, and she just loves it. So that's making me think of more things about what we're going to be doing for next year. Thinking that we're going to be able to bump up a little bit more than I was originally planning. So stay tuned for that. But preschool stuff is going great. As far as for my second grader, for reading, we're doing all about reading level 2. We're about a quarter of the way done with that. We're doing a lesson or 2 every day that we do school. So that's been going great. I mentioned how I was having a hard time figuring out readers and stuff for him. Right now, I'm just pulling level 2 and level 3 readers from the library. And I'm making him read them aloud to me a couple times a week. Now, some of these readers are more like chapter books, like the Little Bear books and stuff like that. So I'll make him read 1 or 2 chapters depending on how long it is, because we need to get him to have a little more stamina when it comes to reading. That's what I'm working on with him right now. So we are just doing level 2 or level 3 readers at this time for that. I am kind of looking into Bookshark. It's just so expensive, guys, and I don't know if I can put up the money for that. So I'm also looking into maybe doing some different type of literature guides or something. I'm just not really sure where I want to go with that. Part of me thinks, though, that because we have a lot of literature stuff in our history, well, I'll get to that in a moment. But I'm not sure what we're going to do with the readers yet at this point moving forward, but we're just going to play it by ear for now because this is going fine enough. When it comes to our spelling, after I did that video with you guys, I told you we were doing spelling UC. It's just not a good fit for us. I was really hoping it would be, but it's just not. So we were doing Explode the Code because I already had those booklets here, but that wasn't really something that, it wasn't really what I was looking for when it comes to spelling. So I wanted something different. So I went on to Teachers Pay Teachers, and I did find a curriculum that was specifically made for kids who have dyslexia for learning to spell. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet. I plan on doing a review later. We're still in the early days. I think we've only done about a week of this. It's going really well so far. A lot better than I expected because I got a lot of pushback on spelling up until this point, but the spelling is going great. So as long as that keeps going well, I will let you guys know what that resource is. I'm just not ready to share that quite yet, but I'm feeling hopeful about this new spelling curriculum. Then math. We're still doing Math with Confidence. I think we have like 3 or 4 lessons left of that. So we should be done, or I should say weeks of that left. So we should be done by the end of the month, and then we'll jump into grade 2 for Math with Confidence. That's going just fine. My son is really slow though on his math facts, and I'm not great at mental math. I still am not. And I always wish that it was something that came easier to me. But my son, more and more, he just doesn't get the concept of mental, like he can figure it out. It just takes him a while to get that answer. So I know that Kate Snow does have a math facts that stick, I think is what it's called. And I'm debating adding some of those practice problems every day into our morning menu and making the morning menu more of a consistent thing for my son for a couple different reasons. But then we can get a little quicker with our math facts that way. When it comes to our morning menu, I'm really only making him do it like 1 day a week right now because it's like calendar work and spelling his full name, because he knows how to write his first and last name, but not his middle name. They're just little things, you know, that we've slapped on, and like writing our address and memorizing phone numbers and stuff. And it's just not fun for him. And honestly, with the pushback, I just don't do it. But I'm realizing we need to make it more of a consistent thing in our school. So I'm going to be working on that more with him. So that's why I was thinking I have a couple extra pages in the menu that are blank where I can add some math facts and stuff to that. So that's what I'm debating on right now. I'm just not quite sure yet. So I got to get that figured out. But otherwise, math is going fine. It's just I want his math facts to be a little quicker. And then when we go to our history, we are still wrapping up the pre-history unit from Build Your Library. We are halfway through week 5. So it is a 6-week unit study. I'm going to come up with a review at the end of it, but it's going really well. And like I said, my preschooler is really involved in it too. So she'll talk about Lucy and the different skeletons they found, and she's really, really enjoyed it. When it comes to that unit study though, this is where I was getting into the literature part. There's not as much literature in this because obviously it's a unit study. A lot of Build Your Library stuff, there is a lot of early readers and stuff that you can add into it, and she tells you when to add those into the units, or at least when I've done them before, that's how it's worked. I haven't flipped through it in a while since I prepared it, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But that was a big drawback from this curriculum because I picked up a lot of the books from the library and then I forgot which ones I picked up. I just put them on the shelf, expecting the curriculum to tell me when to read them. And then I'd realize that I should have read them and we didn't. So I should have had a little more pre-thought to write in there myself, read this book or whatever to supplement those weeks. It's just not something that we ended up doing. So in the future, that'll be something that I'll put in there to be a reminder. But like I said, Build Your Library, because it is a literature-based program, there's a lot more readers and a lot more opportunities where I could pull in those stuff. So I might not need to do the Book Shark right now or something like that for readers, because I might have more opportunities to pull in readers that kind of tie into our history for my son that way. So that's why I'm not quite sure on the readers yet. We'll just kind of play it by ear, and if I feel like we need more, I'll grab more. I don't want to make it too complicated, guys. We're just gonna make it easy right now. So otherwise, history is going great. Math and English stuff is going great. German, we've slowed down a little bit on it the last month. I know I said I wanted to do it 1 or 2 days a week, which was working out much better than us trying to do it every day, the 10-minute chunks, because I realized that because I have a younger learner coming along, the Charlotte Mason philosophy is to do 10 to 15 minutes of language every day, which I really do think is beneficial, but I'm having to do a lot more review than what the curriculum is wanting. So by the time we did the 10 minutes, all we did was review what we already learned, and we weren't learning anything new. And so we were spending way longer than that, and it was just getting frustrating, and it was a big deal. We still love the curriculum. But I think the other thing is, when it comes to the German curriculum, I did not do German previously in high school or anything. I did sign language, and so I'm learning it too. And I think that it was a really good idea that I took the 9 months or whatever it was to do Duolingo to kind of learn the language prior to teaching this. I think we would have struggled a lot more had I not done that previously. However, I'm finding it hard to remember to use those words and stuff that we're learning in our everyday life. And my preschooler and my toddler are super into sign language right now. My toddler is actually doing really, really great. And it's something that I'm just used to doing in our everyday life because that's something that I already know. And I do know that Homeschool Languages is coming out with a sign language curriculum. I'm not sure if we're gonna honestly stick with German or if we're gonna switch to something like that. My son is the one who chose for us to do the German curriculum, but he's not as into it as I was hoping for. So I love the curriculum. I think it's great. We're still learning things. I'm just not sure if it was the right language choice for us personally. And because sign language is something that I'm just more comfortable with, and in our area we would actually use more than German, I'm kind of leaning more toward doing something like that in the future, but I'm not quite sure. My daughter loves the German. She loves learning it, but I don't want to do it for just one child. So still debating that, but we're going to continue and push on for now when it comes to the homeschool languages. Some extra stuff that we did this last month. My preschooler started dance, which he has been loving. So that's been a fun extracurricular that we have been doing with her 1 day a week. That's the other thing that's made it a little tricky this last month, doing extra things like German or just doing school on certain days a week, because dance is at 10 something in the morning and it takes us an hour to get there and back. And so that whole day is kind of taken up by dance. And then it's hard to do school the rest of the days, the rest of the time that day. So that has been a little tricky to navigate, but she is really, really loving it. My son is asking if he can do more swim lessons, which thankfully are here in town, but I'm not sure how we're going to make that work or anything right now. We also did our annual Thankful Day party. This is our 4th year, I think, in a row where we have a bunch of kids in the homeschool community come over to our house and we do a thankful party. So we'll read a book, we'll talk about being thankful, things like that, and then we do a craft, and then the kids play and we eat and all that stuff. So this year you can kind of see them up there on the wall, but the kids all made pilgrims, and so we talked about the pilgrims and how the first Thanksgiving was, and then we made little pilgrim cutout people. So that was really fun. I just found a free printable online, and that is what we ended up doing. For this next month, we're obviously looking forward to Christmas and all the holiday season and stuff. We usually have a bunch of people come over and the kids make sugar cookies and stuff. Sometimes we do a Secret Santa. Sometimes they make ornaments, things like that. So we're looking forward to that this next month. School is hopefully going to go a whole lot smoother this next month. There was a lot more things that popped up in November than we were originally planning. So that was something that we had to navigate kind of as well. But overall, I'm really happy with this last month. I think we made great progress, especially on our spelling, and I'm glad that I'm hopeful that this is the one that we're going to stick with because it's working well so far. And overall, our school has just been going really well despite everything else going on. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of videos you like to see on this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how your homeschool is going, what you did this last month, what you're looking forward to with the holidays. If you have anything exciting planned, any trips or anything like that, let me know. I would love to know. And please hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos, and I can't wait to catch you guys next time. Bye.